Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance. Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden. I'm the creator of the Get Resultsology system and an accountability coach. I help people harness productivity to achieve meaningful results, increase income, grow their business, and create success that resonates with their authentic selves. Today's guest is Gabs Hayes, your go-to biz bestie and master of turning entrepreneurial chaos into clear, impactful strategies. With over a decade of experience in process improvement and product management, Gabs helps founders transform overwhelming to-do lists into focused action plans that build meaningful and successful businesses. Through her Brainstorm Battle Buddy sessions, she empowers entrepreneurs to dream big, tackle challenges, and find innovative solutions whilst maintaining their sanity. If you're ready to stop feeling stuck in a business that's running you and start running the show strategically, Gabs is here to guide the way. Welcome to the show, Gabs.
Hey, Robin. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so thrilled to have you here. Whereabouts are you?
I am in the Phoenix, Arizona area these days, but that's kind of part of my story. I'm a nomad, so you never really know where I will be.
Okay, well, I just know you're in a really distinctive room there, and I can clearly get some clues from that, can't I? Phoenix, Arizona. I'll just knock on a few doors. How hard can it be?
There you go.
Okay, so are you ready to start the question? Shall we crack on?
Let's do it.
All right, I will start the clock. I've been known to forget to do that, so I will not do that today. There it goes. Gabs, please, let's talk about what you do. So who is your ideal client, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So I tend to find myself helping dreamers and builders who are still finding themselves stuck up at night, Googling, searching, trying to really figure out what is business for them and is it even something that they want to get into? Or if they're already into it, are they ever going to actually, quote unquote, figure it out?
Yeah, okay, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Absolutely, completely agree with you. So, and extending on that, what is the problem that you solve? Expanding on
Yeah,
that.
so I think as you mentioned beautifully in my bio, I help entrepreneurs get from where they are to where they want to be. And so there's usually a lot of chaos, a lot of questions, a lot of uncertainty in between that. So I like to say I'm the bridge that gets you from where you are to where you want to be. And so that way it doesn't feel like you're crossing that river alone, but that you have some guidance along the way.
That's a great analogy. I love that. I might have to pinch that myself. So, okay, so that's very clear. What is one valuable free action? It's a bit cheeky, this question, but I love it. What is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them solve that problem?
Honestly, it's giving yourself permission to not have all of the answers. I think that's part of what makes it feel so chaotic and so scary to take those first few steps is we think we have to have all of the answers and we have to know exactly how we're going to get from point A to point B before we even start that journey. And the reality is sometimes we got to build it while we're going. And so you've got to take a first, those first few steps, see where that leads you and then the next few steps will reveal itself. So I always like to say to early stage entrepreneurs who are kind of in this stage is sit down and think about what do you really want the end goal to look like? The middle is going to be messy. The middle is going to change, but where do you want to get to in the end? And as long as you're really clear about the end, we can figure out all the steps in the middle.
Oh, amazing. Actually, as I'm listening to you, I'm like, if they gave out degrees for doing exactly what you've just said, I would get a first class with honors.
I love this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm totally guilty of that, doing exactly what you said. Totally, totally guilty of I've got to have everything worked out, everything before I'll do anything else. And it is awful. It's an absolute nightmare because you never get any progress. So yeah, I love it. Thank you. So now we know a little bit more about what you do, Gabs. Let's talk about goal busting, meaning how do you make the best use of your productive time to achieve your own business goals? So can you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits, please?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I struggled with this one the most when I became an entrepreneur. Like I was definitely an unfocused, overworked, always cramming my schedule before I became an entrepreneur. So, anyone who thinks you get quote unquote time freedom immediately when you become an entrepreneur, I didn't experience that. I had the exact opposite where it got way worse. I became, far more obsessed with my work. I was trying to fit far more things in. So honestly, the biggest thing that I would tell anyone to really think about when you step into this role is focus. And that is because, like I said, I was a very proud multitasker. I, much like you, right? I've won this award of the burnout badge many, many times. And so it's just one of these things that, like, you can be everywhere, but should you be? And that's a question that I've really had to learn to sit down with myself and figure out. And it's actually one of the reasons I created the Productivity Quickie, because every Monday morning for 15 minutes, I sit down and I say, what are the top 15 things that I'm going to get done this week? And that's all that I give myself permission to focus on, because otherwise, suddenly I'm like launching a new business on a Tuesday afternoon because it just popped into my head while I'm drinking coffee, or, I'm off doing something random because I suddenly got this random idea. And so having this list of, like, I intentionally sat down and guided my week, it clears up some brain space for me because I'm not carrying that to-do list in my head, but also I'm prioritizing by actual priority versus, ooh, this thing sounds fun today, so I'm just going to go shift over here and do this fun thing.
Yeah, and in my case, the fun thing is usually nothing to do with anything about work. So that's a
Yeah.
procrastinator's nightmare. And of course, what you're describing there is you're procrastinating, but you think you're doing something productive, but you're actually being productive on something that isn't productive in terms of meeting your ultimate goals and your ultimate life vision. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, you look up and suddenly you're like, yeah, I did 95 things this week, and 95 things I took one step on, and I never actually made progress anywhere because I just, went a little bit in each direction. And so that's part of, like you said, know exactly where you're going so that way when you're spending that time, you're spending it intentionally to get towards that goal that you're working on.
Yeah, so important. It has to be working on the actual things that really, really matter. And I hear you because I that's why I wrote my book, because I spent the last I decades working on things that don't really matter in terms of my ultimate dreams, my ultimate goals, the things I really want for my life. And you get to the end of the week, don't you? And you're completely oh yeah, yes, I've had a great week. And then you think about it and you think about, where am I to this week compared to last week? And it's like then the hangover kicks in. Oh no.
Yep.
So yeah, 15, I love that. 15 things on a Monday morning, and you've got to get through that list. What should I have asked you today that I didn't, Gabs?
All right, I'm just going to throw one back at you that I get asked all the time, which is, how the heck do you do it all as a nomad with 3 kids? And I will just tell you the answer is I don't. And I had to take, 4.5, almost 5 years into entrepreneurship to realize that I can't do it all without running myself into the ground. And I certainly did that quite a few times in my, early entrepreneurial days. And so part of it is, again, giving yourself that permission that you can be everywhere all the time if you want, but is it actually moving the needle and driving you towards your ultimate goal? And if the answer is no, give yourself permission to say no or step away from things that aren't going to support that right now.
Excellent. And one of the key things that I offer people is fall in love with outsourcing. Once you understand that, there are things that you don't need to be doing that someone else could do. And that's still something that I need to learn very much myself. I still try and do too much myself, but I am gradually getting in there because I'm a man. Multitasking is a complete anathema to me. But the secret is really actually no one can multitask for very long.
Oh yeah, drives you absolutely crazy in in the long run.
Yeah, perfect. So thank you. And that was really great. I thoroughly enjoyed that. So much information that resonated for me, and I'm sure it will resonate for our listeners too. Thank you, Gab. So how can people find you? And do you have like it's always a cheeky question here, but do you have like a valuable free resource that they can get from you, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So easiest way is to go to my website, which is gabshayes.com. That will have all of my resources, all of the things to keep in touch with me. But on there is the guide to that productivity quickie that I talked about. So if anyone wants to give it a shot, where you just sit down on, Monday morning for 15 minutes and lay it out, and there's a whole PDF there that just kind of walks you through what those 3 steps are and the timers that are included. So that way you can make sure you keep yourself on task for that 15 minutes. But there's also a place there if you do want to schedule one of those Brainstorm Battle Buddy sessions for me. Those are free. And so there's a link on my website to schedule a call with me there.
Excellent. Productivity Quickie. I love that. That's something that I might have to steal that one as well. I won't steal the material, but that sounds really good. Thank you so much. Gabs, it's been an absolute pleasure and a joy. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This is a beautiful time.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've loved it too. So thank you and bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favorite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.